So I get a lot of questions about my dreads, and I figured it was time to make a video to answer all of them. The first question that I get is usually, how did you do them? I use the twist and rip method mostly, but I also backcombs a little bit, and I have a few that I just kind of didn't feel like finishing, and they've just dreaded on their own since then. I have about 30 dreads total, I think. I have really thin hair too, so I was kind of surprised at the amount that I got. Yes, I have very thin, fine hair, and it's still possible to have dreads with that kind of hair type. These are about 6 months old, and they're starting to mature. Some of them are a little bit lumpy, but they're really starting to thicken up at this point. I didn't do any maintenance whatsoever until about a week ago when my best friend took a crochet hook to my hair. Honestly, I would suggest not touching your dreads if you want them to mature quickly. I never pulled in any of the loops or really palm rolled even, and I definitely got some zigzaggy dreads and all that stuff, but they're really just gonna sort themselves out after a while. To any of you who are just starting your dreads or are thinking about starting dreads, just a word of advice: they're gonna look bad for the first 3 months. I mean, they're gonna look worse than they ever will in those 3 months. And I know it's hard to I found aquamarine on the ground. Anyway, I know it's hard to wait for those 3 months because you know they're gonna look really good eventually, and you do have to deal with people asking you, well, why is it so loose, and why is there a lump in it, and all that stuff. But I mean, it's worth it in the end. It really is. This isn't all my hair. My hair ends about here. On some of them, it kind of varies. I did sew in my extensions at first. So basically, I bought synthetic extensions, I dreaded them, and then I sewed them into the ends of my own. And I do regret sewing for adding in the extensions at first. Definitely, if you're adding in extensions, I would suggest investing in a crochet hook and crocheting them in, because sewing them in was a pain and they kept falling out, and it was just a huge hassle. I wouldn't suggest adding in extensions until your hair's matured a little bit. I think mine have kind of halted the maturation process a little bit, but they're turning out good now. So getting a job with Dreadlocks, I personally didn't have any trouble, but I work at a garden center, so I don't think they really care. But I've never really known anybody who's had difficulties getting employed with Dreadlocks. Some of my teachers at school definitely treat me differently. They kind of just assume that I'm a slacker, which I mean I am, but I think most people soften up to it after they get to know you. And if somebody's just seeing you in passing, then why does it really matter what they think of you based on your hair? I've personally had a wonderful experience with Dreadlocks. If you're considering getting them, definitely do your research, take your time, section well. That was one thing that I really regret not spending more time on, because I'm constantly ripping apart my hair so that they don't grow together. So definitely take your time with sectioning and be patient, and that's really all there is to it. Have a wonderful day.